I want her now. Find her. Do not fail me." The order was spoken with a calm that made grown men move faster than fear. In a glass-walled office high above the city, Chairman Park stared at a phone screen like it had just rewritten the rules of his world. His men waited for the usual outcome, the usual demand, the usual cruelty that followed a sentence like that. They expected a hunt. They expected a lesson. They expected someone to be dragged into darkness for a mistake. They did not expect the mistake came from a woman who didn't even know his name. Her name was Hannah Lewis, and she was sitting on the edge of her bed in a small apartment that smelled of detergent and stale heat. 7 months pregnant, she felt like her body was carrying two kinds of weight at once, the baby and the worry. Her ankles were swollen, her back ached, her chest felt tight, not from illness, but from stress that never left. She had taken a photo in the dim bathroom mirror, one hand on her baby bump, the other holding her phone like proof that she was still here, still trying. It was meant for her sister. A soft moment, a simple update, something warm in a cold season. Instead, she sent it to the wrong number. The moment she realized it, her stomach dropped so hard she thought she might be sick. She stared at the screen, praying she could undo time. The photo sat there, delivered, undeniable, too personal for strangers. Her fingers shook as she typed fast, begging with the kind of panic that makes you smaller. "Sorry, wrong number please. Delete." She hit send and held her breath, as if silence could protect her from what came next. Across the city, Chairman Park's eyes did not soften, but something inside him shifted. He was a man whose name was a warning. A leader people obeyed, without needing to be asked twice. A man who built his life on control so absolute that emotion became weakness. He was known for precision, for never rushing, for never caring about anyone outside his circle. Yet he did not look away from Hannah's photo, not because it was scandalous. It wasn't. Not because it was bold. It wasn't. It was simply real. A tired woman, a protective hand, a look in her eyes that said she was holding herself together by willpower alone. To Parker, it wasn't a picture that invited harm. It was a picture that exposed a truth most people ignore until it's too late. He had seen that look before, years ago. His sister wore it, pregnant, abandoned, trying to pretend she wasn't scared. He remembered her apartment, the cold corners, the cheap soup smell, the way she smiled to protect him from her fear. He remembered the night she called him from a hospital parking lot, voice shaking, saying they wouldn't take her in without money she didn't have. He remembered promising he would fix it, that he would get there, that he would handle it like he always handled problems. He arrived too late. His sister died in childbirth. The baby didn't make it. And Park's grief hardened into something sharp, something permanent. He built power so no one could ever tell him no again. He built a world where doors opened when he spoke. He built it so that helplessness would never touch him again. Then Hannah's photo appeared, and helplessness reached for him anyway. Park's men moved to trace the number, expecting him to demand the woman be brought in. The information came back, quickly, like it always did. Hannah Lewis, 29. Missed prenatal appointments. Bills piling up. Rent overdue. No partner listed. No steady support. A woman walking the same road Park's sister walked. The same quiet slope toward a tragedy no one would stop. Park's voice came down cold and controlled. No one touches her. No threats. No contact. Eyes only. The men exchanged quick glances. They were used to protecting the boss from danger, not protecting strangers from life. But they obeyed. Park typed a message himself, short and direct. "Are you safe right now?" Hannah stared at the reply, confusion tangling with fear. She expected insults, demands, threats. Instead, the message sounded like someone checking if she was breathing. She typed back carefully, trying to keep her voice steady even though her hands were still shaking. "I'm fine. Please, delete the photo." "It was a mistake." Park replied again. "Do you have someone with you?" Hannah looked around her apartment, at the half-assembled crib leaning against a wall, at the baby clothes folded unevenly because her back hurt too much to stand long. She thought about lying. She thought about writing, "Yes, my husband is here, my brother is here, someone strong is here." But she didn't have anyone, and the loneliness pressed against her so hard it made honesty spill out. No, that single word tightened Park's jaw. He sent another message, slower this time. Each sentence written like a barrier between her and danger. "You are not in trouble. I will not harm you. Lock your door tonight. If you feel unsafe, text this number, one word, lantern. Hannah read it 3 times. She didn't trust it. People with power didn't help without a price. That was what life had taught her. Still, something about the message felt different. There was no flirting, no pressure, no request for her address, just a warning and a lifeline. That night, Hannah couldn't sleep. Every sound in the hallway made her heart leap. Every car headlight outside her window made her stomach clench. She checked the locks twice, then sat on the bed with her hand over her belly, breathing slowly while her baby shifted and kicked, like a reminder that fear was real. But she had to stay upright anyway. Nothing happened. No knock, no threat, no shadow. The next morning, her clinic called. An anonymous payment had covered her prenatal care in full. Hannah nearly dropped the phone. An hour later, her landlord emailed, saying her account was resolved, and the eviction notice was withdrawn. By afternoon, a delivery arrived with groceries, vitamins, and a soft blanket. No logo, no name. A plain note that read, "Take care of yourself today." Hannah locked the door and stared at the box like it was a trap. Her fear changed shape. It became less about immediate harm and more about ownership. Who was doing this? And what would they want later? She finally texted the number again. Y. Park single quotes reply came after a pause, like he had to force the truth out of himself. Because once someone like he needed help and didn't get it. Hannah's eyes burned. She sat down slowly, as if her legs had forgotten how to hold her. She thought about her own life, how often she had been told to handle things alone, how often she had swallowed pain so others wouldn't see it. She thought about how many women carried everything quietly until they collapsed. She typed another question, small and raw. "Who are you?" Park did not answer directly. He didn't give his name. He didn't reveal his world. He sent a different line instead, almost like a promise. "You do not have to trust me. Just let the help reach you." No strings. Hannah didn't believe. No strings. Not fully. But the help kept coming in ways that didn't feel like a trap. Her appointments were scheduled. A nurse checked in. Her work hours improved unexpectedly after her manager suddenly started acting nervous and polite. The stress in Hannah's shoulders began to loosen, not because she felt safe yet, but because the ground under her was finally steady enough to stand on. On the other side of the city, Park watched updates come in. He told himself he was only correcting the past, paying a debt to a memory. But his eyes kept returning to the last message she sent, to the simple question of why. And he realized something that unsettled him. For the first time in years, he was using power to protect instead of take. Then, one cold night, Hannah's labor began. It started as a dull ache. It grew into pain that stole her breath. Her sister was hours away, crying on the phone, powerless to change distance. Hannah's hands shook as she tried to pack a bag, as she tried to stay calm, as she tried not to panic. Then she remembered the lifeline. Lantern. She sent the word with trembling fingers. Park replied instantly. "Stay where you are. Help is coming." Breathed. An ambulance arrived so fast it felt unreal. Hospital doors opened without arguments. Nurses moved quickly without judgment. Doctors acted without delay. Hannah's fear didn't vanish, but it stopped controlling her. She clung to the idea that something, somewhere, had finally decided her life mattered. Park did not come. He stayed away on purpose, knowing his presence would bring fear into a room that needed peace. In his office, he watched from a distance, hands clasped, eyes fixed, as the past tried to repeat itself, and was stopped by the very power he had once built for revenge. Hours later, a baby girl arrived, healthy and loud, filled with life. Hannah held her daughter against her chest, trembling, crying, laughing softly all at once. The baby's skin was warm. Her tiny fingers curled and uncurling like she was testing the world. Hannah's heart felt like it was splitting open, not from pain this time, but from relief so deep it made her weak. She texted the number again, because she didn't know what else to do with gratitude. That big. "My baby is here. She's safe. Thank you." Park read it twice. His throat tightened. The room around him was silent, but inside his chest, something old and heavy shifted, like a locked door finally moving. He replied with one line, "So is the part of me I thought I lost." Weeks later, Hannah received a final package. Inside was a small silver charm shaped like a lantern. No note, no name, just the charm, cool in her palm, heavy with meaning. Hannah sat by her window holding her sleeping baby and stared at the city lights. She still didn't know the full story. She didn't know the man's face. She didn't know the danger attached to his world. She only knew this: one mistake could have destroyed her instead. It reached the one person who refused to let history happen again.